Hi guys, so this week what we're going to make is a mobile, and all you're going to need is some plastic bottle of some kind, things to decorate on your mobile. So I have some driftwood here, some shells, but you can literally use anything. Like always, check in your craft box if you have string or ribbon to hang the things on. A glue gun is handy but not necessary. You can tie things or do stuff like that as well. It's not necessary to have a glue gun, but it can be handy for sticking on things. And a scissors for cutting them up. So let's go make a mobile. Okay, so here we have our materials. This is what I've chosen. You can alternate with things that you like, but your main thing will be your plastic bottle, and I've left the lid on. This is going to be the top piece of your mobile, and I'm going to cut it here now in a sec. And then that's the top piece to hang everything from. Things that I collected to decorate is some feathers that I like, some shells, driftwood, because I have quite a lot, but anyway. But you could alternate between anything that you'd like hanging from your mobile. And I didn't have any string, so I'm using this ribbon that I'm going to cut into thinner strips. And I've also opted for using a glue gun, just because it'll be easier to stick things that I'm going to have hanging, but by no means do you have to have a glue gun. You'll be able to do it without. And again, I will be painting certain sections of mine, so I have my paint ready to go there. So I have cut off the bottom of my bottle, and from here what I'm doing, you can pick any shape that you want at the bottom of your mobile, but I've decided to cut out little triangles. So using my scissors, I am cutting out little triangles. I'm going to do those all the way around. So now I'm painting with acrylic paint because it's plastic. If you liked the translucency, you could always just leave it, or if you don't have paint. So I'm going to paint it blue and some clouds on to do a little sky theme for the top of my mobile. This is the piece of the bottle that I'm left with. So I cut off the top, did my triangles, painted it blue. I'm going to probably do a second coat on that because it's a little bit streaky. And then from here, what I've done is I've cut this piece into these little circles. So we have these little circles to hang down from the mobile. I'm going to paint these yellow, I think, to contrast my blue. Okay, so those are my circles painted yellow. I also have painted the top of the bottle blue, which is going to be for the top of the mobile. And I'm going to let those dry. And while I'm letting them dry, I was thinking it'd be nice to use the plastic in another way. So what I'm going to do now is prep up. I have this leftover piece of the plastic bottle, and what I'm going to start doing is with the leftover piece of the bottle, I'm just going to cut a spiral along the top, making sure it's the same thickness. Okay, so the centerpiece, I have now glued on a shell to weigh it down in the center, and I'm going to stick that inside my top piece for my mobile. So now I've just hot glued on a little piece of string to the top and then a little shell just to finish it. You can always, if you don't have hot glue, you can always just make a hole, get an adult or a grown-up to help you make a hole in the top, and you can attach it that way. Or another thing, you could put it in under the top of the bottle. You could just put a string in there and then screw it back on if you don't have a hot glue gun. Okay, so that is the piece that's going to hang the mobile, and now I'm going to paint on some clouds to just give it a little finish that I like on this guy. Okay, so these are, I painted on some clouds just to decorate the top, and now I'm going to start hot gluing, but you can also tie all the different pieces together. Okay, so my circles that have dried, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut those into little strips because I'm not sure about them hanging like this. Always remember, you can edit and change a project as you go. In fact, most of the time I'll always edit and change a project as I go. just because things mightn't work, or you just get new ideas as you create things. That's part of the process. That's what makes it enjoyable. Okay. So I'm going to have these hanging from the top piece like so. I think they look quite nice, just as I was playing around. And the plastic holds its shape when you cut it to the circle like that. So that should be nice. And I've cut up a couple of these, and now I'm going to glue them onto the top with my feathers. Here we have the final piece. It's obviously going to look better when it's hanging up because the gravity will pull down all these pieces, but I've put my feathers on. Just wanted to show you a close-up that I also stuck some shells on the top just to give that kind of beachy theme I was going for. And I stuck on just a few little glittery pieces around. I don't like too much glittery pieces. That's just a personal preference. You can see you can really hang whatever you want, but the top of the bottle for that shape is quite nice. Okay, so we'll try and get, that's the top. I'll try and I'll take a shot of this hanging up as well. But you can see there that has worked out pretty well. So there you have it, guys, our final mobile. You can see the shape of the bottle that I've cut up. So it's essentially mainly made from the bottle, just with some feathers added on. I didn't use the little pieces that I had made. I made some extra pieces and I didn't use them in the final piece. That often happens when you're making something. You'll make too many things and then edit it down afterwards. But it's still really nice and enjoyable to make all of them. So that is our final piece. You can hang them inside or outside, do any colours that you like. I think I'm going to give this one to my little nephew when I see him next. Be a nice piece to look at and to hang up. So enjoy, have fun making your mobiles and see what other shapes you can find in bottles in your recycling. It's really nice to upcycle old containers that we have already, or find other shapes inside in your recycling bin and upcycle them into something new. And the plastic pieces bounce really nice. So even if you had that outside near a window, the wind will make nice movement happen in it. So enjoy, thank you for the pictures again, and I will see you next. So here we have it, that is the final piece hanging up. You can see all the plastic pieces. I weighed them down by having a little feather stuck to the end or shell, and that'll pull down the little plastic pieces. So worked out quite well. It's hanging up there. It's a nice little centerpiece. You can hang them outside as well, and the wind can be nice. So that is the final piece.